Hello? You guys hear me? Hello. All right, everybody. So it looks like meeting at Sharky's has been very helpful for having the networking component. Everybody seems to be very conversational. If you want to start moving your way towards this end of the room, possibly that one side of the bar might work out well as also, but there's seats along the front here, all on the side. If everybody can file in a little bit, we can go ahead and get started. So the very first thing that I want to do with our first meeting here over at Sharky's, let's get a quick show of hands. Or actually, let's go with a round of applause. Who likes meeting at Sharky's here? Is this a good venue? Should we keep meeting here? Cool. All right, sounds like this is a good spot. And we actually got two Patricks with us today, which is good for me because I'm bad at names, so I only have one to remember. One Patrick is doing the presentation. The other Patrick is the manager of Sharky's here, who has helped us for about an hour and a half that I've been here, and he had the tables and chairs already set up. So he spent at least 2 hours helping me get all this stuff set up today. Plus, he has reached out to me and said that they can host us here all the way up to 100 people. So we can build this back up from what we were 6 months ago. And there he is, Patrick, over there bringing in another table. Thank you very much. Now, a couple of items of business with the Raleigh SEO Meetup group. How many people have seen the call to action that I've sent out a few times now, looking for y'all to fill out a survey? We need to get some information. If anybody has seen it but hasn't had the opportunity to fill that out, it would be great if you could go ahead and make that a priority. The links are all over our last couple of events. They're in the email. They're in our message board. We're trying to figure out who the 2,200 members are that are in this meetup group, what y'all want to know about, so we can put together a calendar and present information for you guys that is tailored to exactly what you're wanting to do with your businesses as it relates to SEO. So please fill out that survey to help us figure out what we can deliver as far as information for you guys. And there was a second thing, Patrick Jr., my mind just went blank. What was the second thing I was supposed to mention?
Hashtag.
The hashtag. That's it. What is it?
Raleigh SEO QA.
So, with the video that we're doing, we're trying to get people that are at home or out and about that are watching the video to be able to interact with the Q&A sessions. And so, also within the room, we're wanting everybody to tweet in your questions. So you probably have a Twitter account. Most people do. If you tweet to the hashtag, Raleigh SEO QA, that's the one we're using this month, those tweets are going to show up on the Raleigh SEO Meetup.org/live page. And people are able to vote up their favorite questions. So if you see a question on there and you really want an answer to it, you can actually go onto that page and vote that question up so we answer it first. And this is going to allow us to be able to have more people that are watching online and out around the community interact with us here in the room, because we can only fit so many people in the room. So this is one way that we're trying to achieve that. To that end as well, Patrick, JR, and I are not videographers. We're doing the best we can with the equipment that we have. But if you know someone that is a videographer that would like some advertising space to a group of 2,200 SEOs in exchange for setting up and doing the video once a month, we'd love to hear from them. So you can reach me at frankcjones.com. That's my email address. ME, that's emailing me at frankcjones.com. I thought that it would be funny. I always have to explain it. So, me at frankcjones.com. If you're interested or know someone that is interested in helping us out with making our videos a little more professional. All right. Without further ado,
It doesn't work. Just hold that button.
actually, maybe just another minute of further ado, figuring out how remote works. Patrick, we all set?
Yes, sir.
Hello? How's everyone doing tonight? Is everyone here for the SEO meetup? Because this is Sushi 101. Here for the meeting?
That's Bill's joke.
Ooh. Well, hopefully Bill will be here next month. I was talking with him, and I think he's going to come back and speak for us. So, Patrick Stotts, work over at the Design Studio.
Thanks.
I don't know if anyone read my biography, it doesn't really matter. I'll be talking about local SEO tonight. Do we have a lot of small business owners? Want to be small business owners here? Pretty decent amount. The marketing professionals?
Pretty decent amount. Okay, well, hopefully I hit a good mix here. Oh, screenception. Technical difficulties. So I think it's a little hard to read on this projector, and that's probably my fault for making the image a little small. Basically, this is just telling you this particular image is from last year, and it's trying to say a lot for online businesses, like local businesses. They really want things like business hours. They want directions. They want the address of a store. Like most people when they're searching, mobile is overtaking desktop now in search, and most people that are searching want to go somewhere, want some information. And again, this one is really hard to read. I don't know if anyone out there can read it. I can barely read it. This is from Moz.com, and it's local search ranking factors. And we're really going to hit on kind of every I don't think anyone predicted this. Am I cutting out?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little more volume.
Testing.
Oh, wow. All right, so SEO really begins with knowing how people are looking for you. It depends on your business. But really, research is always going to be an foundation of an SEO strategy. If you are a plumber, people are going to look at plumber, broken pipes, bathtub clogs, toilet clogs. Like there's going to be searches that people are using to find your business. A few ways to find that: Google AdWords Keyword Planner. That's the go-to. It gives you a volume. My particular issue with that one tool is they tend to hide a lot of keywords. They don't always give you search phrases. They're going to give you a keyword. So and they just hide a lot. Keyword is a cool tool to get around that. It actually takes Google auto-suggested phrases. You know, when you're typing something in Google, and it just starts to fill out the rest of the query for you or give you suggestions. It pulls from there and will give you more ideas around your particular topic. I'll just go through as the position and explore to see kind of where you are, your competitors are. It will tell you what phrases you're already ranking for, kind of what their search volume is. You can look, again, not just at yourself, but where your competitors are, what terms they're targeting. Something else I want to cover real quick is hyperlocal. Now, this is not just, you know, everyone wants to rank for, you know, lawyer Raleigh. Hyperlocal is a way to target more specifically. It is literally down to the neighborhood, to the area. These are what are considered the areas in Raleigh. You know, I think everyone knows North Hills, Briar Peak, etc. You can content to target specifically the area you're in where you want to do business. And part of the reason this can be very powerful is that Google actually like localizes where you're searching from. So if I'm searching on my phone and I just say, where am I? It's probably going to tell me that I'm here at Sharky's. It's scary that it knows that, but it also adds relevance. So if I'm looking for a lawyer and I'm in Briar Creek, if someone has a page that's targeted towards Briar Creek, even without using the term Briar Creek, they get kind of a ranking bonus. Does that make sense? Question? Absolutely. So the question was, just to reiterate, basically, would you waste the effort to build a page to target search from very, very low volume? The response to that is not necessarily, but if you're, you know, if you're brand new to the market, and let's say I'm going to use Briar Creek as an example over and over here, but I know there's search volume for like dentists in Briar Creek, for instance. It's a good place to start because if I'm new and I don't have a huge budget, I'm not going to rank for Raleigh dentist in any reasonable amount of time. So starting with Briar Creek is a good way to go ahead and get some traffic. The other benefit is that if you are making the hyper-local content, again, if someone happens to be going to see more students in Briar content targeted towards that. So it's more location based would be the reason behind it. And it's not a huge benefit, and it could be a waste of time in certain situations, yes. Hopefully every small business has a website. No? Okay. Get a website. That's step one. We'll go over some on-page SEO, but something I want to, it's a question we're asked a lot at A-Design. You know, we got someone that's down in Clayton and they want to rank in Raleigh. Well, you don't have a physical presence in Raleigh. You're not really doing business in Raleigh. Other companies are active. They're being involved in the community. They're doing events. They're doing charity work. You don't really deserve to rank over them in Raleigh. And unless you're willing to put in that effort, it's going to be very, very difficult. So on page, these are going to be your main factors. Your title tag, your header tags, the URL of the actual page that you're using. context, your website, internal links to the pages, and hopefully, if you're a small business, hopefully you're using a NAP listing on your site as well. A NAP is your name, address, and phone number. A lot of people fail to put their name, address, and phone number on their website. They'll normally have one or two. Typically, you have to go to like a contact page to find someone's address. And it's sad if you have to go there to find their phone number as well. Phone number of friends are very important. Any questions on any of these? There are certain rules for each of them. I'm just kind of going to glance over the on page. It is very, very important when building a website, but I think most people already have a website built. I will mention one tool to do a quick audit of your website just to see you definitely want to content. So called site crawl extremely fast and give you most of this information very easily digestible format. My favorite tool out there, bar none. So again, the most asked questions for mobile are your phone number, your location or directions, and your hours of operation. I see too many websites I was wanted to just see the phone number. And address, I pretty much always see it in the footer of a website when really it should be in the header. Like if someone's on a mobile phone, that is what they're looking for. You see it with, if you do any kind of screen recording software like a heat map, you'll see it over and over again. People will look for that and they're struggling to find it. And same thing with hours. You're lucky if one page on the website has the hours. But with mobile overtaking desktop, this is the information they want. This should be front and center on mobile sites. Another thing is to consider like every page, not just your home page when signing a website. Most site traffic comes from these sub-pages, whether it's one of their products. It's really important to consider conversion optimization in this as well. And key things to have, obviously, it kind of goes back to on-site SEO, headline images, videos, trust indicators. Now that's your social proof. Maybe you've won some awards, got some testimonials, been featured in something. Almost every company has done something to get them social proof, but people don't know what separates you from your competition. Version as well. If I can't find a contact form, or if that telephone doesn't stand, if it blends in with the background color, I'm not going to click it. The design, the layout, just real quick touch on the layout. Again, give them what they want for mobile first. Too many people still adopt a desktop site to mobile. And again, if they don't have the address, they don't have the hours, the phone number right in the header, you're already missing an opportunity to convert people. An offer or USP is unique selling. What you different, what do you offer? You know, this is again back to social proof. What makes you different? Like how are you going to stand out in the crowd? There's hundreds of choices for companies in Raleigh typically for any given industry. And the call to action, like they need to stand out. Like this is either what I want people to do. It's a combination of what people want and what I want them to do. What I want them to do is come see my store. I want them to call me. I want them to fill out a contact form. I want them to capture their emails somehow. What they want is to know that they can trust you generally. So you have to kind of build with a combination of both in mind. This is typically how we like to set up our page. So everyone focuses a lot on their home. Really, in this case, the second one that's the silo pages here could be, for instance, different cities in the area. We have Raleigh, we have Durham, Chapel Hill, Nightdale, Cary, et cetera, et cetera. And a lot of businesses cover all of these, or actually have physical locations in all of these. So giving them the attention that they deserve as well is very important. I mean, reuse your homepage design if you have to. This is, a lot of people, if the page, people aren't going to land on your homepage. They're going to land on one of these pages or one of the service pages for these pages. So if I'm going to have, teeth whitening in Raleigh, teeth whitening in Cary, teeth whitening in Durham. And if someone is in Durham or Cary or Raleigh and they're searching for teeth whitening, they're not going to land on the main page. They're going to land in their city-specific teeth whitening page. And this is a lot of that. So again, it's one of those things that probably not going to do when you build a website. It would be kind of cost prohibitive, but you need to plan to kind of have this, because this would be kind of the ideal site structure to capture the people looking for your products or your services in a specific location. Any questions?
If you have several services, how do you create enough distinction? Like, let's say you have 10 different locations, and you have one service each location. You can create enough distinction between each of those locations.
So the question is, how do you create enough different content on each of those service pages? And that's a great point, because duplicate content is an issue. There's any number of ways to do it. Even, not everything has to be unique. Like if you've got a great selling paragraph or whatever, it tells all about you and it's perfect, I wouldn't change that for each page. But you need to offer something unique. Maybe some pictures for a dentist, let's say, pictures of people in that particular office. Those are a great example of this. They create attraction you could imagine. And in every city, they have links to restaurants. They have links to everything that you could want. They provide all that data to make each page unique. Does that answer it well enough? Okay. I'm a pretty very big schema. The reason everyone says add schema, unless schema has a benefit, it's not a ranking factor. Google has said that over and over and over. Where it can help is, most people, Patrick, I have to take two. Where schema helps is when it can actually display something in the Google search results. Star ratings are a great example of that. Product prices are a great example of that. Recipes are a great example of that. Adding schema to your name, address, and phone number, which is typically what most people provide in their services, doesn't really do anything. JSLP is another kind of newer version. It's a lot easier to do. It's not much at the code level of the individual element. It's more like one JavaScript that runs. It's my preferred method. I know that it's such as making it really easy to add things to your knowledge. So the knowledge graph is what if you search your company name, your knowledge graph should appear on the right side of the screen in Google search results. You can specify certain things like saying that social property belongs to you, and it will be added to the knowledge graph, assuming your brand is strong enough. It's not always the case. Again, schema, look into it. I am not going to go into this because if you're just going to do it for your name, address, and phone number, you're not going to get much benefit. The next step after your website, get everything targeted on your website. And not the next step, because this is the same time. There's three different pretty much. You have your personal pages for Google Plus, which is Google's answer to Facebook and failed. You have brand pages, which are very, very similar to the personal pages, but used typically for larger companies. And then you have your My Business listings. The My Business listings are going to be, each location that you have, you want a My Business listing for. And the link for that is google.com/business. Makes it easy enough so that you're not getting the wrong listing. My Business is for anyone with a location. In fact, for larger companies, let's say Best Buy, they have bulk upload opportunities. So you can upload hundreds, thousands of stores at once. Anyone have thousands of stores? Okay. The My Business has a lot of different guidelines. I just provided the link to that, but it's things like basically don't be stupid. Use your business name. Don't try and stuff it with keywords. Don't even address this PO box or UPS store have a physical location. You work out of your, you can get in and use your house. You may want to hide the address though. And if you have problems, the contact, most people don't know you can contact Google for support on My Business. You can yell at them, you can live chat, you can have them do. And it's used more for things like if your map marker is in the wrong location, or you have multiple of these pages and need them merged, or information. Just I had an issue recently where even though My Business listing had the correct hours, when it went to Google's knowledge graph, what it was showing people if they searched the brand, it was showing the completely wrong hours. And I don't know why. There's a lot to filling this out, and believe me, this is so important. I'm going to take a step back. The My Business listing is so important because this is the listing that gets you listed in the map packs in Google. When you search in Google, you typically have like a couple ads. From and then maps. This is where it's our rating. And this is really, this is very valuable real estate. A lot of people interact with these listings, and I think a lot of people don't realize how many people actually do interact with them. Filling it out, obviously, like I said, the business name, use your actual business name. The address, again, phone number, I mentioned tracking number for the business, unless you're using that call everywhere. And I'll go more into detail about that later. Your website address, hopefully you have a website. The categories. The categories are interesting because some businesses fall into multiple categories. And you kind of want to go with what makes sense, but also not overdo it. So if I've got 5 categories that kind of make sense, I'm really only about like 2. I only want those 1 or 2 lists. If you start with many, it kind of dilutes the power of it for the 1 keyword or the 2 keywords you care about. Hours of operation. They give you, I don't even remember the amount, and I think it's like 20 that you can do a My Business description. Most people don't even have close to that on their website. The other advantage to that is these links are actually follow links, like they are very, very valuable links to your website. Good profile photo, good cover photo. Most people don't know the cover photos, which is like the background image, kind of like your background on Facebook or Twitter. The photos is actually the animated. It's just a little way to stand out. You can add additional photos. I recommend photos you took near your physical location. Tag data saying I was here. Your email address, hopefully you're using one on your domain and not like a Gmail address. And a custom URL. So typically everyone when you start gets like a slash and really long number. But after a period of time, a certain number of followers, you can claim a city or whatever as well. But the thing, you can display the communities on Google Plus that you're a part of. I can be a part of them. The reason being, again, it can kind of make your page more relevant. If all your community, if you're a dentist and I'm in, let's say there's a Raleigh dental community, or let's say there's just dentists in general, or teeth whitening, or whatever. These communities will be linked on your page. It's keyword text on the page that makes your profile more relevant. And those groups that are also relevant are also linking back at that point. The same thing with others. Follow others. I have heard it many times, like the follow their competitors. Why not? Does anyone here have a following their competitors on social? They don't want to do it? Okay. So apparently I have all the hard clients. They don't do it because they're like, why would we follow him? I don't want to see what he's doing. I think you want to see what he's doing. But also it's again going back to making your profile more relevant. The last item down there is links. And the people you're following, the groups you're in, are linked back to your profile. It's making your profile stronger. It's making it more relevant. And Google realizes this too. They actually put a limit on the number of people you can follow each day. It's only a few. My business, I told you everyone like really interact with these maps. I don't know if you can see some of these numbers. I can't really see these numbers anymore. But My Business Insights gives you interactions to how many times your profile was shown in the search results. It gives you numbers on how many people called you directly in that listing, how many people booked driving directions from that listing, how many people went to your website. This is really important information and huge for generating leads. This is information also that you can't get anywhere else. This is the only place where Google will show you who interacted with these listings. You can't really do it through analytics. You can't really do it through webmaster tools. So a lot of people don't realize how strong these listings are. And in this case, this particular client got 149 phone calls in the last 30 days. Who wouldn't love that? Yeah, the My Business Insights, if you log to your dashboard for My Business, the question was, is it easy to find? I think it's right on that, or maybe it's under that's inside. The next major part of social, your local citations, your NAP listings. Again, the NAP is name, address, phone number. This is one of the strongest aspects of. It's going to affect where you rank in your maps. This is one of the basically determining where you rank in maps. Google's kind of going to look at the on-page optimization of your website. They're going to look at your NAP listings and a few details you're going to go into. And then they're going to look at the overall strength of your website with regards to links. There's a few other things such as personalization. Maybe you know a company or your physical location. And if you're closer to company A than company B, it's likely to show you company A. But the maps really have a strong impact on your local rankings, and as of last year, I actually have a strong impact on your organic search results as well. So again, it's called an app, but it includes more than that. It's name, address, phone number, website, hours. Like these are partial day matches as well. Even if I'm in a local newspaper, for instance, of your company name. Even if there's no link to your website, that mention from a local paper or a local magazine, whatever, can have an impact because now everyone knows like you're in that area, you're more relevant for that search result. And this is the NAP local search ecosystem for the US. This is where it gets fun. There are basically 4 major data providers in the US. It's Axiom, Info Group, Localese, and Factual. And they feed a lot of the other listing sites. The problem is a lot of these other sites feed other sites as well. So like one bad thing, changing your company name happens all the time. Changing your location, companies move, companies get a different phone number, they break off from other companies. All this bad data can still be out there. And one bad piece of data can really affect the whole ecosystem. Does anyone here advertise with Yelp or your Yellow Pages online? No? Wow. I think at least someday. Well, those particular providers have a tendency to use call tracking numbers, which are terrible, to be honest. Yeah, if phone number on my website is one thing, and my phone number on Yellow Pages is another, and then Yellow Pages feeds these, and those 20 sites feed 5 other sites each. The data, suddenly that bad phone number, it's not consistent throughout the web. And cleaning these up can be a headache. It can take multiple rounds of teaching because if you miss one, it can really just kind of what it should be. 3 months later, it may not be that still. So again, this is from Raleigh, which is a citation building company, and they have a lot of tools for local. I would recommend checking them out. This is from their survey roundup. Accurate citations are critical. And one bad piece of data, whether it be your name, and I can't tell you how many, it seems like every company seems to change its name every few years. I don't know why, it just becomes something different. Someone tells them, hey, you should put this keyword in there. So they have something in there that's not their actual business name. Quality, and we'll go into that more, but typically like you're going to see better results from going after citations that are bigger, you know, your Yellow Pages, your White Pages, or something, or even certain local ones. Like in this area, we have Raleigh.com, Triangle 411, versus something like Kutsu, or some of these smaller citation sources. They say you should update your existing citations before building new ones. Again, that's because if you don't do the updates, you're going to end up with bad data if everything isn't taken care of. And this is another issue. 57% say it's very important to merge or delete duplicate citations. So again, if you change your company name, the site might actually recognize that you're a different business now. If you change one or more pieces of data, it could actually, instead of just updating the listing, the way their API works, it could just create a secondary listing. And these are not fun to have merge or delete either. You typically have to contact the companies. Yes. the Yahoo business. If I'm not mistaken, that's powered by Yext, so I think you would have to go to them. Might also come from Bing. I'm not sure the relationship between Bing and Yahoo for that. The local listings, I'm pretty sure it's through Yext though for that one. And there's a mention on the structure citation, but we'll get to that in a second. So Whitesmart, again, this is another like a citation building tool company. Yeah, well, yes. They're one of my favorites. They came up with a list of basically the top 50 citation sources of the U.S. These are going to be, these are the ones that a lot of times feed on other websites. These are your first priority targets if you've got that ad app data. These need to be cleaned up. And when you start building citations, again, these are your first priority targets. These are going to be the most bang for your buck. Some of them will require like telephone verification or postcard verification. I didn't mention that. Google My Business also requires verification. And it's typically a postcard, comes in the mail in a week or two, gets lost in the mail 9 out of 10 times, or run away, I think is more typical case from clients. Even if you tell them to look for a postcard from Google, literally says Google up there, has the business name. It just kind of gets started in with junk mail and lost a lot of times. They send you a little postcard with a 5, sometimes 6-digit number that allows them to verify your address is your address, basically. It's kind of their way of saying if he doesn't get this in the mail, then he's probably not there. When you start building citations on these major citation sites, be prepared for the calls. I can tell you how many times clients have called me like, with, bad SEO companies that are calling them pretend to Google. Lots and lots of scam companies do this. Then the legitimate companies are all now trying to call and sell to you. You have a listing on Yelp, well, then out there trying to get you to advertise with them. You build a listing on Yellow Pages, they're trying to get you to advertise on them. If you hit up most of these major citation sources in a day, suddenly a phone's going to have 20 spam calls the next day, maybe even more. And it's hard to get those companies to stop too. So any business just needs to be prepared for these calls. I wish I could say there was a good way around on them, to no one. I would love you to hear it. It's just kind of, yeah, you can report some of the robocalls and that kind of thing. But for the most part, just expect until some of their sales team kind of gives up on you that you're going to get a lot of calls. Which makes anyone doing their SEO look bad because, again, now people are annoying them. Different tools and services for doing this. So I mentioned Whitesmart earlier, and it's on this list as well. These actually have, I'm not even sure how big their database is. I'm pretty sure they advertise over 1,600, I think most of them do. But I know they weed out a lot of the non-quality websites as well. So I know their database actually contains over 10,000 different ones, but I'm not going to show that to everyone. When you're going to filling these out, tools like RoboForm or LastPass, it can kind of auto-fill the data. So rather than you having to go to Yellow Pages and type in all your business data and password and email, all of that, and then going to Yelp and doing the same thing, and then White Pages and doing the same thing. It's like click a button, just set this up, auto-fill the data, will save you hours. And if you're a small business, just doing a few of these citations a day can be very, very valuable. Local is also a favorite of ours. It basically hits up all the major data aggregators. Again, I mentioned Axiom, Lovely's, Actual, it hits all the plus like Super Pages, Best of the Web. Super Pages, right? I think so. Anyway, it hits a lot of them. It's a fairly cheap tool to use. This will hit a lot of your major citation sources, except a few of the big ones. It's probably it takes us a few months to kind of roll out because it's basically something like data updates for APIs, but it's only $84 a year also. And this alone, if you're in a small town, this tool alone would at most take an hour to fill out their little form for the thing. Typically, if you're doing the 20 minutes tops, that alone can get you in the maps for a lot of the small local towns here. Now, it's not going to be very effective for super competitive terms in Raleigh. It will definitely help though, and it's a good head start as a tool. Yext is another one that it can be powerful. I forget how many sites they have. I think it's 50 plus pretty major sites they have partnerships with, where they're instant. Like you sign up for Yext, and it'll roll out to all those sites within just a few days. Their problem is they're expensive. You can typically find discounts, but they're still going to be in the $400 to $600 a year range. And a lot of the problem people in the SEO industry have had with Yext is if a business stops paying, those listings fully revert to how they were before. So if you didn't have a listing on one of those sites before, it's completely gone if you stop paying Yext. The next two, HYPERLOCAL, again, they're used for citation building. This is kind of do-it-yourself method. They also have services where you can have citations to build. I want to say HYPERLOCAL is $2 to $3 a citation, and WhiteSparks is $4 to $5 a citation. Again, they have different databases. They have different people. Both can be, if you're not going to take the time yourself to build your citations, one of these services will be glad to help you, and they're tremendous for duplicate cleanup as well. That's another thing with Yext. It typically, like you already have a listing on one of the sites, it will make duplicates. It doesn't always just replace the data. It will typically just make another one, which is just you're kind of stuck with it. Because a lot of those you can't even merge. Because any of the ones claimed by Yext are kind of protected listings, so they won't even let you merge another listing with them, in my experience. The dupe finder that's listed here is for finding duplicate My Business pages. And a lot of people either have multiple My Business pages, multiple, or like a personal and a brand and My Business. They're sometimes difficult to find. It could be a different business name. It could be one thing different. And this is great for finding that. And then the tool Nap Hunter is also great for finding the bad citations out there. It basically performs different Google search queries. So it'll be looking for your business name without your phone number, or you could set up with a bad phone number with your business name. It'll tell you this. It's literally searching through Google, gathering this data. And we'll return that data to you. So now you know where bad listings are, and you can go clean them up. Questions? My remote is freaking out here. There we go. So just a little bit more about citations. Again, make sure your NAP listing, your name, address, and phone number are on your website. I can't tell you how many people get that wrong. Web designers are not always doing SEO. They don't necessarily know this. They build a site to look good, but it could be hurting your rankings. I mentioned this already, but citation cleanup, it can be a hassle. I say 2 or 3 rounds, sometimes it's 5. Typically every 3 to 4 months, you kind of have to check and make sure nothing rolled back out. Because again, it could be one simple thing just that could propagate to 80 different sites. Unstructured citations and partial citations. This is what I was talking about earlier with, for instance, newspaper mentions. These are basically any part of your data, your business name, your phone number, could just be your website. these are kind of the unsung heroes. These don't get very many mentions very often, but they are super relevant. They're not as strong as a full citation, but let's take, for instance, a Pinterest account. Let's say there's two companies that are 100% across the board, except for the a little bit, I can push them for this